I would argue that this type of work selected me. I have always had an interest in art and being very creative, and so throughout high school, I really was able to focus on those different areas of expertise. I had the privilege of going to a four-year college after high school, and that's where I really focused on my advertising skills and graduated with an advertising degree and worked in an advertising agency setting after college. I ended up in insurance because Columbia Insurance Group had the need for a marketing specialist. So this job was created, and it really was a perfect fit for. I grew up in Columbia, Missouri. I am a graduate of Fairview Elementary, Smithton Middle School, Jeff Jr., and Rockbridge High School. So after I graduated high school, I went to Texas for college, and then I moved to Arizona after that and realized Columbia was the place for me to kind of settle down, start a career and a family. So I had to come back to Columbia, and that's where I call home, and I'm very comfortable here. So my education here in Columbia was amazing, and it was the foundation where I was able to build the knowledge I needed for this career that I have now.
Great answer. I'm gonna get that.
My position honestly requires a four-year degree, and that is only because, in my case, the knowledge I was able to acquire in a four-year college setting, or even a two-year college setting might be appropriate, but in my case, 4 years really allowed me to develop the skills I needed to execute this job in the way it needed to be executed. There's a lot of responsibility involved. There's a lot of technical skills involved as far as working on a computer, utilizing different programs on the computer for design is one aspect of my job, and also for writing and communicating by email. And that seems almost secondhand. Everyone knows how to write an email, but the ability to communicate the messages that need to be communicated through email is extremely important. You have to use correct grammar, you have to write complete sentences, and you have to write the email in a way that won't be misunderstood on the other end. That's really easy to do, especially in a business setting. If you're trying to talk with someone, they might perceive your message to mean something that you don't want it to mean. And in my job, that's crucial. You have to make sure that every word that's in your email is professional and correct and will be perceived the way you want it to be. As I've reflected how I got to work in an insurance company, what in my schooling made me the right person for this job? I've wondered that quite a bit, because I never imagined that I would work in the insurance industry. But as I think about it, many classes that I took, even starting back in high school, contributed to the knowledge I now have that makes me good at my job. As I said, back in high school, I took a lot of art classes, and even though I don't actually do painting or drawing for my job right now, the principles of art that I learned in those classes are essential to what I do now. Even basic color coordination is something that I learned, and that's a basic skill you learn in high school that is still relevant to me today. And I don't think of it specifically as, oh, I need to use the principles of art in this situation. It's part of my knowledge and part of my skill set that I can use without thinking about it. So it's something I use so often that is now secondhand to me. But also the classes that I focused on in college, I brought that artistic skill with me, and I tried to take art classes in college, but quickly realized that my art skills can also be applied to the computer and digital marketing and digital design. So that's what I started focusing on. So a lot of the skills I learned in those classes had to do with art, but also had to do with communication. And I've realized over the years that all of that contributed to a passion I have for communicating with other people and working on a collaborative basis with other people. So this job, I said, it kind of found me because my passion for art, my passion for communicating with people are all kind of wrapped into this once. So having the awareness that those skills contributed to what I do now is important, because now I can focus my attention in my job to those specific skills. So paying attention in class, I'm very grateful that I did. One thing I do wish from a communication standpoint that I would have focused on more is learning another language. I tried to take a lot of Spanish classes. I took a French class, but I was never able to focus on that, and that's something I really consider that to be a weakness of mine. I actually the other day got a request for one of our brochures to be translated into Spanish, and I'm going to have to consult with an outside vendor on that because I don't know how to do it, and I wish I